Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I am going to try to make it through a video tutorial today. I have been kind of sidestepping the video tutorials because of my voice, trying to conserve my voice as much as possible. But I think today it's good enough that I can get through it. I went yesterday and got quite a few more shots. So hopefully I am definitely on the mend. I'm so tired of being sick. So today we're going to make it's a box, but it's got some origami folds in it. So you'll see in a moment. You don't have to worry about writing down all the instructions and everything, because I'll have all of that on my blog, and I will have a link below for that directly to this project, as well as I'll try to put a card right up here that you can click on and go over to the project. But the first thing you're going to need is a piece of cardstock that is cut 8 by 8. Now you can use pattern paper for this if you want to. I just like the cardstock because it's thicker, so it makes a stronger box. So you're going to score at 2 and at 6. Then you're going to turn it one turn, and you're going to score at 2 and at 6. So that is going to be the base part of our box. So we're going to lay that aside for just a moment. And now you're going to need a piece for the top of the box that is 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. And let's see, you're going to score this one at 1, at 2, at 6 1/8, and at 7 1/8. So that is 1, 2, 6 1/8, and 7 1/8. And then we're going to turn it, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 6 1/8, and 7 1/8. So that is going to be the top of your box. Remember that the top of the box is 1/8 of an inch larger than the bottom. So you can lay that aside for a moment, and we'll put our scoreboard away. We're going to pull back out the bottom of the box and go ahead and do our folds. So let's go ahead and burnish our score lines. Okay, now on this is going to be the bottom of the box, so we're not going to put anything on there, but this is going to be the sides of our box. So we're going to go ahead and put some pattern paper on there, just like that, to make it look really pretty. Now this is from our new paper collection, and let me see if I can pull it up here for you. It is called Hello Easter. And it's got all sorts of beautiful, beautiful papers in there. And then sticker sheets, as you can see. So it's got just tons of stuff in this. We do have a few more of these left. I think 4 or 5 packs is all we have left. So if you want this one, just make sure to grab it in a hurry. This is the sticker sheet, and we're going to be using some of that as well. So this piece right here, and you need 4 of these pieces, and these are cut at, let me see, these are cut at 1 3/4, I do believe. Let me look. Yes, these are cut at 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you're going to need 4 of those, and we're going to go ahead and put those down before we do any cutting or folding or anything to our box. And the cardstock that I'm using is just some of our American Craft cardstock. We sell it in the shop when we can get it. They're not always up to date on getting their cardstock available, so we grab it when we see it come available, and but we don't always have it. That's out of the spring collection pack is what this is from. But you can check, and if we have it, then You better grab it while it's there because it doesn't last long. It's really good cardstock. It's kind of textured on one side and then smooth on the other, and I like that because you can decide to use whatever side that you want. So just kind of put those down and center them between your score lines. And my paper doesn't have an up or a down, but if you have a paper that has a right side and a wrong, or a up and down, then make sure that you get it the right way. Just keep in mind that this is the bottom of your box, so it will need to, this would need to be the top up here. Alright, we are going to go ahead and cut this. So you're going to cut up, and I'll flip it over to this side so you can see a little bit better. We're going to cut up on these little score lines right here, and just cut in just a little bit. I need my large scissors for this, but I don't have them right here in front of me. So just take a little tiny wedge out, not much. And then go to your other side and do the same thing. Okay, so that is what your bottom part of your box should look like. And then we can go ahead and put this together. And all you're going to do is just put glue on those and glue those boxes up. So we're going to put glue on each one of these. I am using my art glitter glue. I know some of you are messaging me saying that you're out and you need it desperately. If you will send me an email, and my email is below. If you'll send me an email and tell me where you live, and if I can see that the temperature is above freezing between you and I, then I can go ahead and ship you some. But if it gets below freezing, if you live up north in a really cold area, then I'm not going to be able to ship it because it would freeze if it sits in the post office truck very long, and you know, sometimes they let those sit overnight somewhere, so we wouldn't want your glue to freeze. But message me if you need some, and since our weather's getting a little bit warmer, there is a possibility that I can get you some. We have plenty in stock right now, so just put all of your four corners together, making sure that you got lots of glue on there so that they'll stick good. And I just flip it over, and then I just press it down with my bone folder so that I make sure I got a good crease in there, and I've got it stuck really well. So there is the bottom of our box. I think that's super cute. Now what we're going to do here, and I should have done this before I put the box together, but it doesn't matter. You can do it now. This is a piece that's going to sit right down in there so that when the box is opened up, you can see that. This piece is cut at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And I think I can still get it back down in there, but it's just a little bit easier if you put it down in there before you close your box up. Just remember to put it on the opposite side of these pieces. Whoops. Alright. Oh yeah. That was no problem. So put that piece down in there and just give it a little bit of a push. So there is that. Isn't that cute? So now we can lay this piece aside just for a minute. We'll go ahead and do our folds on the top part and give them a little bit of a burnish. This is a a very easy project. It looks like there's a lot to it, but it comes together pretty quick, and it's not hard at all. Alright, now you see you have these 4 little boxes right here. And this is going to be a reinforced box. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut down that first score line. Cut down the second score line right in the corner. So see, right there, we cut down both of those score lines. And then you are going to cut this outside one off like that. You're going to wedge in just a little bit on this part right here. So that wedge in a little bit. And then this little flap right here we don't need, so we're going to cut that off. And then you're going to do just a little bit of a wedge on either side of this little part right here. Just like that. And you can go ahead and do a little bit of a wedge on these up here because they're going to fold in. So go ahead and cut all 4 corners. Remember to cut the outside one off, that one off completely. Wedge in just a little bit on that. Cut this one, the little outside tab, off right at that score line. Then you're going to wedge in a little bit on this side, and this top part right here. So see? Then you're going to flip it around, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that is what you should have left right there. See, you're making the sides look almost like a little stair step. Alright, now before we put this together, we're going to go ahead and put our side pieces on there. These little pieces are going to go right here. And these pieces are, let me look. Let me measure to make sure. These are 3/4 of an inch. And they are, oops, 3 7/8. So 3/4 by 3 7/8. So we're going to glue those right there. And again, if you have directional paper, this is your top, so make sure that your direction is going the right way. I chose non-directional just because I knew I would probably mess it up on when I'm trying to do a video. And put them in between the score lines, just kind of center them up. If I start getting a little hoarse, I apologize. I may have to stop out and get me a drink. Now we're going to go ahead and put our top on right here before we put this together. This piece is cut at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and then this one is cut at 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're going to layer these. So that gives us just a little bit of that green around the edges. Then we'll put this down there. There we go. So there's our top, and then we'll decorate this when we get it all put together. Now we're going to put glue on these 4 tabs and put those down so that we can put our top together. I'm going to put it on one end at a time so that I don't get glue everywhere. Now on these, make sure that you bring those corners really tightly together. If you don't, your top is going to be a little bit too loose. So just bring those corners, oops, I think I just pulled that one apart. bring those corners together. And then I take my bone folder again and press that down so that all that glue spreads out and gives me a good adhesion. And then put the glue on the other end. And then take your bone folder and press that down so that all that glue gets spread out and it adheres really, really well. Now these pieces are going to go down in there to reinforce your top, your lid. So they're just going to glue down in there, inside. So I'm going to put glue all around on these. Just make sure that you get it on your edges. So we've got glue all around on all of those. Then you're just going to press it down to the inside. Use your bone folder, run over it a couple of times. Okay, so there you go. There's the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a little piece right here in the top. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it just because I think it's cute. So I'm going to put those little bunnies down in there. This piece is also cut at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So I'll put them right down in there. So there we go. We've got our top put together. We'll lay that aside for a moment. Now you're going to need another piece, and this is going to be the Origami Fold part of the box. You can do this out of just plain cardstock if you want, or you can do it out of pattern paper. I'm going to do it out of cardstock, and then I'm going to cover the cardstock as you'll see in just a moment. But the first thing you need to do, this is cut at 8 by 8. So the very first thing you need to do is find the center of your page. So I am going to put a little mark right here. Then I'm going to go this way. And this Tim Holtz ruler really helps when it comes to finding the center of your page. Put a little mark right there. So we just did a little cross in the center of our page. That just lets us know where to fold the sides into. And now you're going to take this, the side, you're going to put it right on that crossbar there, right on those lines that you just made, and then you're going to fold it down. You're going to go to the other side, do the same thing, put it on that cross, making sure that your edges are even on both ends. Fold that down. I'm going to do it this way as well. Whoops, mine folded before I wanted it to. Right there. Making sure that the ends are coming out even. And then on this end as well. So you see, basically we folded it kind of like we did the top. And you could score this if you wanted to. If you want to score it, you're going to score it at 2 inches all the way around. but the folding is fine with me because you're going to fold the rest of it anyway. Alright, then you're going to take your points, your corner points, and you're going to put those right in that little, let me zoom in just a little bit. You're going to put these right in that part right there. So I'm taking my point, putting it right up in there, and then I'm pressing it down while I hold it. Okay, then I flip it around, I go to my next one, put it right in that point, and press it down while I hold it. Do that all the way around to all four corners. Do this one. Like that. So then you've got all your corners folded in. Now you're going to take just one of your sides, doesn't matter which one you start with. You're going to press it in and hold on this little triangle that's right here and bring this part right back to meet that. So see what I did? I held it on my triangle and then I brought this line, this score line, back to meet with that one, just like that. Made a little square there. And you're going to do that same thing on the other side. Now here's where you need to make sure that your little edges and everything are coming out even. And if they're not, then just manipulate them a little bit. There we go. And you're going to do the same thing on all four sides. So see, you've already got your fold, so it kind of folds up pretty easy. So now when you fold all of those up, you've got a little box there. See how we did that? All your triangles are folded in, and then you've got a little box. Now you're going to go to these, and you're going to fold these out to the point. This is just a typical origami fold. And we have done this in one of our videos before. I think it was a card that we did, an origami folded card. So just fold those out to the point and then reinforce the score line. Just like that. So there is your origami fold. And as you can see, when you pull on that, it comes apart, goes together. Now we're going to open it back up, and these little parts, so you have a little square and then you have a triangle that's made out of it, and then on these you have triangles. Here's triangles. It's all made into triangles, and we're going to cover those with some of the paper that we used on the outside. Now for these you will need 4 of these pieces that are cut at 2.5 by 2.5. And then you'll need 8 of these pieces that are cut at 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. And what you need to do is just, you can do this on your trimmer if you want. I'm just going to eyeball it and cut them in half to make little triangles. Do the same thing with this one, and I'm going to use my larger scissors. Just cut from point to point to make your triangles. So we've got all of those, and then all of these cut. Now what you're going to do now is you're going to go around and you're just going to glue these down. Those would get glued there, and then your smaller ones are going to get glued like that. So we're going to do all of that. I know you know how to glue, so I'm not going to let you watch me glue. But just make sure that all of your little triangles has a piece of paper in it. If you use a cardstock, if you use a pattern paper for this, then you're not going to have to cover anything. Your pattern paper is going to be it. But I'm going to go ahead and cover all these, and then we will be back So here is all the pieces covered. And as you can see, if we fold it back in, very cute. Alright. Okay, now what you're going to do is from this point right here, score line, where the score line meets, to this one, you're going to cut across. And from here to here, you're going to cut across. Okay, grab my knife and my ruler. And I have turned my mat back so that I wouldn't cut it. And you're just going to put your ruler down to where right here is your point for your corners, where your corners meet. See if I can get it back over in the video for you. And then right here is where they meet down here. And you're just going to try to make sure that you go in that little cross in the center there when you slice it. So just slice it down. Okay. And then you're going to turn it and you're going to slice it the other way. So put your point right there. Okay, so see how we sliced that, and there's our center part. Now these are going to fold back under here. Now on these you can cover these with these little squares if you want to, or these little triangles if you want to. You can cover those like that, or you can leave them. It doesn't matter. Once you see mine put together, you'll know why I said you can cover them or not. I'm going to erase these lines off here now that we have it cut. We're using our mono sand eraser to get those off. Now, I don't know if I'm going to cover mine. Maybe so. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cover them. Since we have these cut, we're going to go ahead and cover it. But you don't have to do this. Okay, we've got all that covered. Now we're going to grab the bottom of our box. And what you're going to do is set this on top of it. Push that down, and those are going to glue right there. So see, if you line up your score lines on the corners, those are going to glue right down to that. So let's go ahead and put some glue on here. Line up. I like to use wet glue here just because it gives you a little wiggle room. Line up all of those score lines. The one that comes across and the ones that go down. Let's see. Just like that. And then press that down. So see, we've got our score lines lined up on the outside. This will still fold, so we're good there. And then just go all the way around, gluing all those to the inside of the box. So you see how those points come right down to the bottom? And you've got a really nice inside there. Alright, this folds back up. It'll take me just a second to fold it up the first time. That folds back up. And then your lid goes on top, just like that. So when your recipient takes the top off, there is your box. You can put all kinds of goodies on the inside of there. Isn't that cute? There's your Origami Fold box. And after it folds up a few times like this, it'll kind of stay in a position. But to put the top on, just kind of press like that and it'll go right on. You don't even have to hold it or anything. Okay, let's decorate the top and then we will be finished with this. I am going to put this, I'm going to use this little chicken. I think it is adorable. Look at that little chicken. Let me zoom back out so that you can see these stickers here. So we're going to use our little chicken. And then I think I might want to use this that says Easter Blessings right there. Our chicken right here. Then we'll put some bling on there, of course. So let's get some pop dots so we can put this down and give it some dimension. I think we'll put him right there. And then let's do some, let's see if we got some pretty flowers in here that we might can put around there. Since we're talking about spring, take my diamond stickles. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my flowers if I can get any out of here. Just give it a little bit more pizzazz, I think. Okay, so there is our little box. Is that not cute? And I went ahead and did some little scribbling on the chicken, and when that dries it'll look like little glittery feathers. But isn't that cute? I did go ahead and put some stickles in the center of some of those flowers to just kind of bring it all together. I think that's cute for the top. And then when they open it up, they've got a surprise. Down in here you could put some of those little chocolate eggs or something like that. Super cute. The top fits on very, very well. And there you go. There is you a great Easter box. It is not hard at all. It just takes you a little bit of time to cut your pieces, but that is all. Once you have all your pieces cut, putting it together is easy. Remember that all of these measurements will be over on my blog. That link will be below. And we will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And when that little bell pops up, click on that bell so that you'll be notified when we put up a new video. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.